This time on Motor Week 88, take a first drive in Alfa's 164 and the last drive in our Dakota. Pat Goss explores the meaning of your transmission noises. Charlotte Nichols finds out what auto clubs can mean to you. And learn the truth about Ferrari's Testerossa. Come drive with us next.
Motor Week 88, television's automotive magazine, with your host, John Davis.
Well, hello and welcome to Motor Week 88. We're glad to have you with us. This time we're going to begin with an old saying. If wishes were horses, beggars might ride. In our case, we would definitely wish for a prancing horse, the almost mystical symbol of Ferrari. Yes, we have dream cars too. And this Ferrari Testerossa is at the leader of our fantasies. With 12-cylinder power and an over $120,000 price tag, it's obvious that Testerossas are hardly commonplace transportation. But this time, when we begged Ferrari to let us take you for a ride, all of our wishes came true. It happened one fine autumn morning at Pocono International Raceway in northeastern Pennsylvania. The Ferrari Testerossa came the way of most wishes with an aura brighter than its flawless red paint job. Most everyone's familiar with that Testerossa aura, thanks in part to the smoke, light, and bullets of Friday night TV. But beneath the aura is quite another thing. The Testerossa is a machine, a complicated machine, a well-crafted machine, but a machine nonetheless. Its name even comes from machinery. Testerossa is Italian for redhead. The name was originally given to the 1950s Ferrari race cars that had red-painted 4-valve cylinder heads. And this 5-liter flat 12 redhead with its 48 valves at full chat pumps out 380 horsepower and 345 pound-feet of torque. The power is transferred to the ground by a 5-speed manual transaxle only. The shift pattern is racing style, with first down and to the left. The linkage is bulky, and the 1-2 upshift is a tough one to make gracefully. You can't be gentle with the shifter. It takes a brutal blow from the heel of your hand to drive it home to second. Once we figured that out, our redhead walked through the quarter mile in 13.5 seconds with a final speed of 106. It takes 5.5 seconds and only one gear change to get to 60. Peak power is at 5,800 RPM, and the engine seems happiest when working hardest. The flip side is an idle smooth enough for an American sedan and good drivability at low speeds. The Testerossa feels like a big car as you step inside it, but it shrinks as you drive, and more so when the going gets twisty. Testerossa steering is a touch heavier than a Corvette's, which means light by exotic car standards, ditto the clutch. And on the Pocono road course, the Testerossa surprised us again. Despite very high cornering power and high-strung breeding, the benchmark Ferrari isn't out to embarrass TV test drivers. Tight turns are met with gentle plow at the front end. The rear end will swing out, though, if you blunder on or off the throttle at the wrong time. Entering a fast, high bank turn, the Testerossa gives you the feeling its rear end would like to creep around, but it doesn't. And at high speed in a straight line, the car just feels glued. Ferrari claims a top speed of 177. We had room enough for only 145. Still, fast enough to give the brakes a good workout. And in stops from legal speeds, distances averaged 117 feet. The pedal has a firm, inspiring feel, but we're sorry to say the Ferrari doesn't have state-of-the-art anti-lock brakes. If the Ferrari is foremost a machine, its second strength is providing a good place to operate that machine. Room is good and the surroundings pleasant, if a bit bland. A clock, oil temperature, and fuel gauge are located in the central pod. The main gauges are in front of the driver. They're plenty big with brilliant orange on black faces. Seats are comfortable and upholstered in leather. Adjustments are all mechanical, and some can be awkward to use. Outward visibility is very good compared to most mid-engined exotics, which have very little. The pedals are offset slightly to the right, but the steering wheel is within comfortable reach and adjusts for rake. The radio is cleverly hidden from thieves behind this panel, but it's a stretch for the driver to operate. Heater and air conditioning controls are cryptic but effective. The same goes for vent controls. Their LCD readouts are neat but hard to read in sunlight. But again, compared to other exotics, the Testerossa's interior is a Ferrari original and not made up of convenient off-the-shelf switches and parts. And even though this is a rear-engine car, there's room for carrying things, as long as they're little things. As for luggage room, there is some, and to be fair, it's more than we expected. If it matters to anyone, the Testerossa is EPA rated at 10 city, 15 highway. And the price, $121,700. That is, if you can wait for an order from the factory. If you can't, you can buy a slightly used one for $140,000 to $150,000. That says something about the law of Ferrari supply and demand. In our safety check, the Testerossa passes with front passive restraints and radial tires. It fails to have 5-mile-per-hour bumpers and anti-lock brakes. The Testerossa hit us just right with terrific acceleration, handling, comfort, ease of driving, and superior fit and finish. On the miss side, we didn't like the Testerossa's bulky shifter or mechanical seat adjustments, and we really think a car in this league should have anti-lock brakes. For comparison, there's only one car that comes close, the Lamborghini Countach. It sells for a similar price, but it lacks the Ferrari's refinement, finish, comfort, and resale potential. At the end of our test with the Ferrari Testerossa, we've smashed all the icons. The Testerossa isn't hard to drive. It isn't hard to live with. It isn't for gods or for TV stars in silk Italian suits from the land of pink flamingos. This Ferrari is the first exotic car for mere car-loving mortals, providing they have the cash. And that makes the Testerossa all the more worth wishing for.